Can you see it? Can you see it? Have a look at the screen. What do you see? What do you see? Because I'm smiling. You can notice there's a couple of announcements on the screen. Now, if you're new here, you might not know what those announcements mean. But if you're not, and you've been along for the journey, you know that bells are ringing, doves are flying in the air, children are playing on the street celebrating because he's gone. It's finally over. The endless battle with Nomad is over. He's gone for good. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Michael being like, what? Yes. He's gone. He's gone. You might be like, oh my goodness, why are we on a different day? What's going on? It's usually a Thursday. Guys, I couldn't wait. I had to tell you. Ben, you're right. He's gone. CB, he's gone. It's finally happened. Nomad is gone. We are released from the shackles. And we can finally start making moves for all of those players that we wanted. Well, some of them you'll see in a minute. Some of them. It's not all good. It's not all good, but it is some of the best news. It is maybe the best day for the worst team ever. Now, if you're new here, you might be going, what the hell is going on? Hi, I'm Max. Nice to see you. I run a little show here on the Dynasty Hotseat called The Worst Team Ever. It's basically rebuilding a terrible team and trying to make it good again with the help of you. So if you're watching live, drop a comment, say what you think that we should do. Please consider subscribing as well. That'd be absolutely awesome. And if you're not watching live, you're watching after the fact, leave a comment as well, because I'll get to all of those comments today. So if you were watching last week and you missed it live, hopefully you left a comment. We're going to review them today. But have a look. Have a look at what we see. What a birthday present. Yeah, you're right. It was my birthday recently. Couldn't have asked for anything more. Couldn't have asked for anything more. Michael in the chat saying, getting Danny Dimes for a third. The best day ever. Wait, yeah, Danny Dimes for a third. Getting Brian Thomas Jr. for J.K. Dobbins and that guy from the Steelers, who I can't even remember his name. That was a pretty good day. That was a pretty good day for sure. Luke saying, look, every team you... That's not... I knew it was... Yeah. I didn't think that was going to be Luke saying that. I knew that was going to be Paul picking in the chat. Every team you run is the worst. See, this one in particular is pretty gruesome. CB, who's also in this league, by the way, as well, saying Jay Robertson pretty active. Yeah, he is. He is. So that's great. It's like Joffrey. It's like when Joffrey dies in Game of Thrones, I think we'll start to miss Nomad by the end of the season. Yeah, I mean, he's obviously left his mark. You know, he's been a big part of the show for all the wrong reasons. I mean, what are we going to talk about? You know, what are we going to talk about? Well, let's catch you up on the rest of what's happened. So obviously, this was the big news. Wanty leaves. Now, there were some other little bits and pieces that went down as well. So I'll fully catch you up. Let's go all the way back to 7 days ago, whenever we left off. So there were some waiver wire claims. I think that we maybe tried to claim Hunter Renfro or maybe even Juju. I can't quite remember. We didn't get anyone, sadly. So we didn't add to the team. Dawson Knox gets picked up by CB. That's a nice pickup. He drops Matt Collins. Chris Rodriguez gets dropped as well. I wonder if we go after Chris Rodriguez. I don't know if there's been another waiver run, but I know that Eckler's gone on IR. Mac Jones, I popped Mac Jones on the block because I thought maybe we'd get an offer coming in for the next live show. Shanahan finally gets to run out Mac Jones. Yeah, finally. All those years later. Then we have CB picks up a couple of thirds and a second for Bryce Young, who will no longer be a quarterback at the end of the year. So Pretty good from CB. They're getting any value for Bryce. Who would have thought Daniel Jones is more valuable than Bryce Young now? Crazy, right? So CB picks up those roster picks. I think that's quite nice. Khalil Herbert gets dropped. Montrell Johnson gets dropped. And then, of course, the big news. Jay Roper then goes through a couple of the duds on the team of he who shall not be named. And a couple of guys go on here. So Marion Hampton goes on the block. Then I couldn't help myself. Couldn't help but drop a comment for Nomad being removed. Absolutely fantastic. Penn saying he's like the pantomime villain. The role carries on after Nomad. Who's going to be the bad guy in the league? I got one for you. Don't worry. You'll see. I got one for you. Crazy. You're right. It's been years and we finally got rid of him. Finally. Sean Clifford got dropped by Saitama. And then, now this is maybe slightly bad news. And this is kind of the nature of this show, I suppose. That we can only act at certain times. Once a week, mainly. And one of our main targets goes in this trade. You'll see we're not really interested in ETN or Addison. Rashee Rice was a guy that we were interested in. Sadly, he's gone. Jay Roper getting in there and acting fast. Rashee Rice being sold, that's a target we had. I have messaged our guy, Rye, who did pick up Rashee Rice. Let me know what you think. He wants Brian Thomas Jr. plus, which I don't agree with. So it might be that we don't get Rashee Rice. The trade, quite a cool one. Javonte Williams, Marion Hampton in the fourth. ETN, Addison, and Rice. Cool trade. From both sides there. Well done. Pretty cool trade. Hopefully it works out for both of them. Now, let's talk about the bad guy. Because here is what happened in week 2. Guys, we won. No. Don't want that. This is meant to be the worst team. We want to lose every game. Now, here's Bennett B, 72, who was active in the waiver wires. This is, well, let me know what you think. I think we spoke about this last week. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this. Here's the starting lineup. He's starting Kenny Pickett and Devin Neal, who we know aren't going to get any game time at all. Now, it might be that in the same way that we were starting Dalvin Cook last year, he has no other options. Let's see. He started Pollard, Williams, Pickens, Hawkinson, Tet, Charbonnet, Hunter Henry, and then Joe Flacco in the super flex. Immediately, I have an issue. Because if you can start Joe Flacco in the super flex, you can start him at quarterback and start someone else at super flex. In terms of Devin Neal, you'll notice he has Zach Charbonnet. Now, Zach Charbonnet only picks up 1 point, but again, he can go into that role and another player can go in here. Did he have players on the bench that could score? Let's have a look. Tyler Algier could have scored. Davis could have scored. There's one that annoyed me in particular, though, which you'll see. Not Turpin, not Zacchaeus, not Moore. You can be forgiven for not starting those guys. Emeka Egbuka, unforgivable. This is clear, deliberate tanking. To leave Emeka Egbuka on your bench and instead start Devin Neal is not acceptable. It is deliberate tanking in my view anyway. Now the other guys I can maybe kind of forgive. I mean, not starting them over Devin Neal, but it's not egregious. But not starting Emeka Egbuka is. And I did sort of say, Bennett B starting Devin Neal ahead of Egbuka, not starting a quarterback when you have Flacco to play there, not letting your super flex. Deliberate tanking shouldn't be accepted. I think we maybe had a discussion about that. So, yeah. Like, what do you guys think about that? I'm not really a fan of it. I think it's borderline cheating. Wait, is it not max potential points for? Why do wins matter? I'll need to double check. I will need to double check and see. Hopefully it is. Hopefully it is, you know? Yeah, Ibuka going to get Offensive Rookie of the Year, exactly. And yeah, Ben, you said it. The new Nomad. We need a new pantomime villain involved. And although Paul might be saying that, it's me. Can't be me. Not in this league anyway. Maybe in other leagues I'm with Paul in, but not in this one. We're the triumphant hero riding in on our white horse to try and save the day, right? Absolutely. Lord Voldemort. Yeah, Deshaun. Who's picking up Deshaun Watson, right? Maybe we can get him on our team. So I wasn't happy with this. Then Wanty was like, is it deliberate tanking not being here? Either way, it's not good. Wanty didn't spot it until now. So we'll have to wait and see. And then Wanty's saying maybe it is max points for. So that could be actually what it is. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. I don't know if we would have lost. I think we might have won anyway, to be fair. I think, unless he had somehow figured out to start Tyler Algier and Kevontae Turpin, which, is unlikely. Unlikely. But it's, it's the principle of it, right? It's the principle of it. We want to make sure that people are doing things properly around here. T-Law doing good, CMC doing good, and that's it. CB thinks that he's going to come last, I think, as well. He's going to steal the 101 away from us, I think, right? I've seen CB mention that in the comments somewhere. Yeah. Dylan, what's up? Dylan's in the chat. Good to see you, buddy. How you doing? Nice to see you. Michael, max points for should definitely be the default for Dynasty. Gives being able to do annoying tanking like that. Yeah. Yeah, if you're in a league where you don't necessarily, trust the people, to make the correct decision, then I would agree. I think could be different if you're in, leagues with friends or people that you can maybe give a bit more leeway, a bit more trust towards it. But in a league like this where people seem to be coming and going, I think that it is essential. And it might well be that's the case. I will need to double check. Then that trade gets processed, goes through, and another trade with our guy CB goes through. Right, he's stocking up. He got and traded Travis Etienne immediately. Out goes CMC, out goes Godwin, Travis, Ollie, a second, and a third going to CB. CB, I know you're in the comments. I think he could have got more. I would have been pushing to get a first round pick in there. I think he could have squeezed Rye for a little bit more. Godwin, I don't know about his value, but when he plays, he is pretty good. I think McCaffrey, when he's involved, Etienne did look good. And it might be that the long-term play is getting Etienne in. Ollie Gordon, he looks okay, but Achan's the man there. I think he could have got a first-round pick in there for Christian McCaffrey. But if you are thinking, you know what, I'm going to come last, I'm going to get rid of these players, you got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do. So that got pushed through. AJ Brown, Nico Collins, Terry McLaurin, Deshaun Watson. There he is, Paul. Lord Voldemort himself. He goes on to the trade block. Jay Roper's looking to trade. We love it. We'll have a review of that team soon. And we can see who we want to buy. Look at all these guys going on the trade block as well. Trey Palmer gets dropped. Another trade goes through. Jay Roper dealing. Yeah. With guess who? Oh, look. He is active. He is there. He's just trying to shaft people with his lineup. Interesting. So the trade is George Pickens and Jameson Williams for Kenneth Gainwell, Rashad Bateman, and 2 seconds. An absolutely atrocious trade from Bennett. Like, what are you doing? Getting rid of a guy like Jameson Williams, a guy like George Pickens, and getting 2 seconds, essentially. These guys are not much. I think that's a really poor trade. So maybe I'm saying that just to push the pantomime villain. Who knows? Who knows? We gotta have somebody there, right? Gotta have somebody. Let's have a look. See, Max, do you support a soccer football team? Yes, I'm a big Liverpool fan. So in 40 minutes, we got Atletico Madrid in the Champions League coming up. So we're going to be out of here in probably about a half hour or so I can go get that match up and ready to go. But yeah, I always love watching some football, some soccer, as you American guys call it. All right. CB said, I tried. That was mostly a gift. Yeah, fair. But sometimes that's all you can get. That's all sometimes you can get. All right. Let's have a look. Fleece on the trade. Yeah, that's worse than mine. Agreed. Yeah. Agreed. The new Nomad is here. Yeah, we got to have one, right? We gotta have one pantomime villain, Ben. I think we'll go for that Bennett Dolphins guy. No, Bennett B. Is he the Dolphins guy? Has he changed his name? Bennett B. Was he the Dolphins? I'm not sure. Pegasus Street is awful. Yeah, I really think it's bad. All right, what else we got? Tyler Algier on the block. This guy's been acted to each their own, I guess. Yeah, I think maybe talking about this, right? Yeah. So the trade goes through. Jamar Chase on the block. Look at this. We were the best manager. Crushed it. 91%. We still got an absolutely terrible point score, but it shows that we are playing an honest game, which is what we want to do. Bennett B, shocker, worst manager. So our perfect lineup was 119 points. They would have scored 134. So yeah, again, that was quite tricky to start Devontae Turpin and people like that. It is quite tricky to do, but again, it's the principle of it, right? Rye with the biggest blow. I've been Wanty, whose team is stacked. He must have had a bad week. A narrow victory in here for someone. And then all this kind of stuff, right? All this kind of stuff. We all know who the players of the week were. Wow, there's loads of stuff happening. Jeremy McNichols, Chris Rodriguez did get picked up. We talked about that. Julian Hill. All right, fair enough. Chestnut. And then another trade. Jay Roper, Whelan, and Dillon again. He's picked up Jamar Chase. He's got rid of Jameson Williams, Nico Collins, and Jared Goff. Oh, what do you boys think about that? I like that trade. I kind of like it for both sides. If you're building a super roster and you want as many elite pieces as possible, then it's good for the Jamar Chase side. Hopefully you've got a bit of depth at wide receiver. I think Nico Collins is a great pick to have. Goff is obviously super solid. And Jameson Williams is an incredibly underrated asset, especially when you can stack him up with Jared Goff. What do you guys think there? What kind of trade is that? I mean, that is pretty cool, right? He got JMO for free and turned it into Lamar. Yeah, into Jamar. Like, Jay Roper's wheeling and dealing. I love it. I love it. CP Max is a glory under follow. So, hey, I started supporting Liverpool in the 90s, right? So we weren't exactly a powerhouse back then. So, Paul Sports Aston Villa, who are doing quite well, actually. CB supporting Arsenal. Not good win in the Champions League last night for Arsenal. Couldn't quite beat Liverpool, though, obviously, in the league. Couldn't quite get past us, but that's fine. Got a lot of friends who are Arsenal fans. It's good fun. Then we have Grant, Calcaterra getting dropped. That trade goes through. Love that trade. That's very, very cool. I like it for both sides. Wow, CP likes it as well. And Harold Fannin Jr. goes on the block. Right. Guys, we've got a lot of work to do. Why don't we start by maybe getting our team sorted, shall we? If we go week 3 matchup. Oh, what is going on here? I doubt we're in the playoffs. Okay, that is bizarre. Has anyone ever seen this before? 15? What? Very odd. All right. Well, obviously it's not processed or gone through yet for some reason. So I might have to set the lineup for week 3 tomorrow myself. I'm not sure what's going on here with Sleeper. It'll be pretty much the same lineup, right? I don't think there's anyone obvious that's come into our team. Unless Xavier Worthy comes back, we'd pop him in. And the rest, I don't think we'd bother. I would probably say we'll take out a guy like Noah Fant and put in Xavier Worthy. That's pretty easy. Well, the most important thing is trades, right? Is trades. We have a chance now to make some moves with Jay Roper. And very importantly, we've got 2 pieces here in Mac Jones and Daniel Jones that we can move on, hopefully for a profit. Spencer Rattler, also someone I'd be interested in moving on for a profit. Or is Daniel Jones playing so well that actually, we should hold on? After week 1, I would have thought definitely sell, but now is a different story. Now it's definitely a different story. But let's go here, because we've not been able to do this in a long time. All right. Let's go to Jay Roper's team, formerly the team of the Evil Nomad, and see who would we like. I mean, Josh Allen, right? That would be pretty pretty sweet. Let's see. The Daniel Jones T trade didn't get accepted. No, didn't get accepted. Didn't get accepted, but I think maybe for the best. Because I think Daniel Jones is maybe worth more than 2 seconds now. And I still think we can get a first-round pick in there for T. Higgins as well. So a first and 2 seconds for Higgins and Jones. I think we can get more. So maybe for the best that it wasn't accepted, right? Hopefully, you know. Let's see, what does Ben think of this trade? Close on Chase. If you need QB, go with Goff. GMO's FA Collins is very solid. Yes, I agree. I'll be on the Chase side. Yeah, I can't quite fully decide. I do like Jameson Williams, though. I do like him. So maybe, I don't know. I think it's a true 50-50, right? Ben, if you think supporting Liverpool is bad, I supported City in the 90s. Yeah. Wow. A true City fan. That's good, Ben. It's nice to meet actual people who support City with, who was it? Sean Goater you had back then? Sean Goater. Absolute legends. Used to love the old City crest with a big eagle on it as well. It's very cool. Daniel Jones Street. Yeah, we said that didn't get through. I want Danny Dimes back. CB, you can have him if you want to play a first round pick. You know, first round pick. Let's see. Thomas, my first suggestion a few episodes ago was T and Daniel Jones for 2 firsts, one being at 27. I think we can get that, Thomas. And it might be one that we send to all. 2 first round picks for T and Jones. We'll see. We'll see. Let's have a look. Jay Roper's got Josh Allen. Cam Ward, who's played well. Jaden Daniels, who's obviously fantastic. Deshaun Watson, who's, Deshaun Watson. We got Jameson Williams, Ashton Janty, Omarion Hampton, Jordan James, Joe Mixon. We've got Jonathan Brooks, Tyrone Tracy, Trevion Henderson. Might be interesting to buy low on him. He's not started too well, but I think he's great. He's a running back, but he's young enough that we'll be okay. Now, Jesus, he was loaded at wide receiver. I can tell you that much. Chase Neighbors, AJ Brown. Wow. AJ Brown, who is on the block. Could we use T. Higgins to go after an AJ Brown? He's not looked good, though. He has not looked good. Jaden Higgins on there as well as Josh Downs, Adonai Mitchell, Keenan Allen, Jack Besh, Travis Hunter. Wow, this team, Jesus. George Pickens, Brock Bowers, obviously. Wow, goodness gracious. How did Nomad mess this team up so? But how was he not the champion every single year? Harold Fannin and then Kyle Pitts in there as well. Any player there in particular you think that we should be going after? For me, Trevion Henderson does stand out, even though he's a running back. Some of you might be interested in AJ Brown at a buy low opportunity. Josh Downs, he could be interesting with Daniel Jones. Could he emerge as a good fantasy asset that we all know he could potentially be? Do we go all out for Brock Bowers? That would take a lot, but we could go all out for a guy like Brock Bowers. Leave a comment either live right now or in retrospect. If you've watched this after the fact, leave a comment. Any of those players that you think we should go after. Let's have a little look and see who we got in the comments. Mag's got a head out. End up looking to trade Indiana Jones. Let me know. Yeah, we might end up sending a trade to all for that. CB Goater is the GOAT. Yeah, one of the Man City legends for sure. An absolute icon. I think we can get Downs and Hunter. Ooh, you think we get both Downs and Travis Hunter for T. Higgins? I would be thrilled if we could. I think that would be nice. I'm not sure it will work, but we could try. He definitely wants to consolidate, so he doesn't need Hunter. Yeah. True. Taylor, are we selling Indiana Jones? Which one's in? I was going to say which one's Indiana Jones. Obviously, one only plays for Indy, but why have I not clicked the Indiana Jones? Right? Why have I not clicked that before? I don't know why. Indiana Jones. Yeah, perfect. Travis Hunter. Okay, Travis Hunter. Let's add him into the mix as well. So these are 5, count them, 5 potential players that we could go after on this team. Now, pieces that we have to offer include Mac Jones, Daniel Jones. However, he's got 3 pretty solid quarterbacks, so that might be tricky. Running back, nothing. Maybe Trey Benson. He looked okay last week. T. Higgins, I don't really want to offer up Brian Thomas Jr. unless we get Brock Bowers in return. Then that's a potential. And then Xavier Worthy. I believe that's all the capital that we really have. Yeah, it is. So these are his 5 versus our 5. I'm tempted to press I'm tempted to press send on this, but I don't know if that would be the best return for us. Leave a comment either right now live or in retrospect. What should we do with these 5 players? What kind of trades could we send out? Okay. Also, if you have the time, it would be great to know, what do we do with these 2? Is there a trade we should send to everyone for Mac or Daniel? Mac, it's pretty obvious that we should maybe try and contact the Purdy owner and see if we could sell Mac to him for a second, right? Second round pick. Or has Mac Jones played well enough that you think he might be a starter next year? It's tricky. It's tricky. Daniel Jones, I think we have to have a first for at this stage. I think a first round pick for Daniel Jones seems fair. Or maybe some of you think he actually is someone we should hold on to because he's going to be a starter for a few years still. I don't know. I will leave that up to you. What I'm going to do, keep those comments flooding in the live chat. I'm actually going to switch over to last week. Okay? Last week, here are the comments coming in from the people who watched after the fact. So if you're one of those people right now, you can leave a comment on the video. Charles saying, will you be doing a video on the listener leagues? Let me know this as well. I have thought about doing videos based on listener leagues. I just can't think of a way to make it entertaining. Apart from this happened, then this happened, then this happened. And there's no real interactive nature. You know, I can't think of a way to make it entertaining for you guys. And I don't want to just put out content just for content's sake. Right. Renfro and Smith-Schuster, yeah, we tried to get him in, but unfortunately someone else outbid us there. Wouldn't trade Worthy for Golden unless I got a first on top. Yeah, fair. And yeah, Golden, I don't like Golden. He's not started particularly well. I'm not too shocked by that. I'm not a big fan of Golden, but if you guys like him, then you know, let's do it. Tootin, Golden for late first. I do again. Golden, not a big fan of Golden. David says as well. Yeah. Reason I suggested Pearsall on late first for T is the volumes went up. Yeah, Pearsall started all right, hadn't he? Oh wow, Andy! Wow, look at this. All right, let's go through this, Andy. We got loads. T Higgins and a third for Garrett Wilson. Oh yeah. Oh, I love that. That's something, Andy. I'm going to write that down because let's do that, shall we? I mean, if we can get Garrett Wilson for T Higgins on a third, I think that is a considerable upgrade. So that's a trade I will send out today. I'll just note that down and we can get to that in a little bit. Okay. Might be worth sending Rattler, Shuck, and a first for Bo Nix. Justin Fields, I don't think we should send for. Again, let me know if you disagree. I just don't see Fields having any kind of long-term value in the league. Bo Nix, however, I do think will be a long-term starter, at least from what I've seen. I didn't like that little... You see that little nippy comment he had? Didn't like that. But I still think that he could be a long-term starter. So Bo Nix could be someone we go after. Let me know if you agree with that in the comments, please. I would also send a late 26 second for Coker since he is injured. Jalen Coker? A second for Jalen Coker. I've not seen him valued that high. But we can have a look and see. Lastly, as for Golden, I wouldn't mind sending a second or a third. Yeah, I just don't think that would get it done. Because a lot of people have paid it first. The more you can use the thirds and seconds of packages to get younger promising players, the more you can shore up a team quickly. Yeah, that's absolutely true. And then talking about the hit rate, this is something I really, really, really believe in, right? The hit rate on early to mid, first is about 45 to 60, late 35 to 40. early second is 25 to 30, right? It does considerably drop, as you might imagine. You basically want to flip all the seconds and thirds into young studs. Yeah, I agree. So who else could we target? Coker is out there. That's been mentioned. Who else could we go out and target right now when their value is maybe a little bit lower? Good luck in the trades. Sadly, didn't get the money through. Damn, he missed a live. That's okay, mate. Liverpool. Yeah, love it. Look at that. Busy window. Missed the live one. Turn Worthy into Rasheed Rice. Sadly, no. He wants Brian Thomas Jr. plus for Rasheed Rice, which is slightly annoying. Trey Harris, he might be one of those young ones that we could use some of our extra picks on. Caleb Johnson's like, it's awful, man. Jarquez Hunter, we have. So that's nice. We've already got Jarquez Hunter, so that is fantastic, yeah? So that's good. Judkins for anything less than a first works. We did offer that out. That's been rejected. Worst t-shirt ever is fire. Yes, please. It's in the comments below, or not comments, in the description below. Dynasty Hotseat, it's got merch. Hooray. So if you want to check out any of the merch, it is all genuinely fantastic. I think it's pretty reasonably priced as well. There is a t-shirt for this show. So please go check it out. Check in the description below. There's a link right there. If you can afford it, buy it. If you can't, no pressure. That's absolutely fine. Yes. Oh, yes. Effing Nomad. He's gone. He's gone, Berto. What a happy day for all of us. What a happy day. He's away. All right. Like the trade you're trying to make, but think you might need to give up on more than a few of them. Yeah, well, there's none left. So, yeah, you're right, mate. We did have to give up on more than a few of them. Right, let's see. Have the comments been rolling in? Yes, we got a few. Let's see what you guys are thinking. And then we'll send out some trades, and then I'll wrap things up. Thomas, what you got to say? Keep in mind, Bennett sold off a lot of max points for. So if you get players back from T, it could definitely end up 102. Yeah. That is fair. 102. Guys, I gotta be honest. I think right now, the best thing for our early 26 pick, because no one's really, I'm not impressed with the 26 class, basically. I've watched, a lot of college football week 1 and 2. I'm sort of getting through week 3. No one is standing out as a particularly great quarterback prospect. I do like Lenore Sellers a little bit. I do like Drew Aller a little bit. I mean, Cade Klubnik, not for me. Garrett Nussmeier, I think we talked about Mac Jones. He's got the mobility of Mac and maybe slightly better vision, slightly better passing, but I just think he gets eaten alive in the NFL, in his current state anyway. So maybe the 26 picks are actually something we used to just load up in 27, which we have lots as well, which is great. Look at his receivers. He'll trade all the guys under AJ Brown. Easy for a small upgrade. Hopefully. I like going a lot now that Reed is out for the year. Is Reed out for the full year? I didn't think he was out for that long. Well, that is interesting. All right. Let's not touch Fields at all. Yeah, I agree. I think that's Donkey's long for the league. Could shoot for a third for Johnson. He might be panicked. Yeah. Okay. I'm always happy. Throw a third out for Caleb Johnson. Let's do it. I'll send that today. Isaiah likely to be back soon, and looks like Andrews might be cooked. People say this every year. Yeah, Mark Andrews does seem to start slow. But maybe Isaiah likely could be someone that we could add in. Andrews obviously isn't the long-term answer there. Likely is. So, likely. What will we kind of offer out for Isaiah? Likely. All right. Let's have a look. I think Reed just got surgery in his foot. Oh, that's unfortunate, man. Yeah, they've had a couple of injury issues over there at Green Bay, right? A couple of injury issues for sure. Okay. So, guys, I think maybe with the Jay Roper team, that might be one for people watching after the fact. That is the comment I want you to leave. What should we do with some of the players on Jay Roper's team? How should we go out and trade for them? And then I'll try and put some of those comments into place. He's moving fast, so I might even try and do that before we see each other again. Send out some trades based on what you've said and see if we can get any done in the week's gap between shows. But we do have some trades to make first. Let's go out and let's do it this way. It's a bit faster. Let's find Garrett Wilson to start with, shall we? Who's on Monty's team. So let's go ahead. Let's see if we can trade Garrett Wilson. I think this is a slam dunk deal. We give up T. Higgins, and we also give up Nathaniel's third round pick. Any objections before I hit send here? One more time to review. We'd be getting Garrett Wilson. We'd be sending T. Higgins and a third round pick. I don't see any issues with it. I think we hit send. It probably gets rejected. We might get a counter. Who knows? Who knows? But I think that's absolutely fine. I'd be delighted to pick up a talent like Garrett Wilson. So T. Higgins and a third for Garrett Wilson. Sending trade. Last chance. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Trade is sent. Great proposal there. The next thing was trying to get in Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson, who's on CB's team. Hey. Caleb relieved of... Man, he's played so bad. Ugh. He's played so bad. Jalen Warren looks great. Caleb Johnson, he looks awful. But you know what? This was someone that was going in the back end of the first round. I think it's worth throwing out a third round pick to see if we can get Caleb. I'm not used to seeing one as the other deal in case one gets through and the other one doesn't. CB might be like, I'm just going to wait it out. But I think it's definitely worth throwing out. And the third player here that we wanted to look at was Isaiah Likely, who's on Chadley's team. He has been very efficient before. I wonder if Chadley is just looking for a bit of stability at tight end. He's got Tyler Warren, so maybe he's not too bothered about Isaiah Likely. Let's throw out a cheeky little Saitama second round pick. Is that about right for Isaiah Likely? 1 second round pick? Probably. What do you guys think for Isaiah Likely? Do we go second round pick? Is that too much? Is that too little? I feel like it's about... I mean, it's not. I don't know. Like, do we really want to give up a 27 for a guy that we don't know? Let's maybe rethink that. Taylor thinking that's way too much. All right, let's give him someone like a... Well, I don't want Schultz because he's actually going to play for us. Let's throw in a... No, I've already used that third. Third round pick? No, that's going to be basically a second because that's ours. Do we go just 2/3? All right. Let's go 2/3, see if we get any bites. We'll probably get a counter for that. Or it might just be straight out rejected. 2 third round picks I'm happy to get rid of. For someone like Isaiah Likely. Seems a bit on the cheap side, but second doesn't seem right either. I don't know why. We'll send one off anyway. Okay, guys, let's see. Any other comments that are coming in? Not really. Superb. Right, big questions. 2 of them, please. 1, the Jones Bros, Mac and Daniel. What do we do with him? Spencer Rattler, by the way, also was cooking, right? Spencer Rattler putting up 26 fantasy points last week. That's pretty good. What could we do with him? Do we do a send to all offer for Daniel Jones? CB, if you're watching, first round pick. He's yours, I believe, right? Mac Jones. No, last thing. I did say we would do this. So, Purdy is on Rye's team. I've already done this. Because Rye's got Rashee Rice, right? Yeah. I already asked him if he wants Mac Jones for a second. He said no. And yeah. That's kind of where we are. Maybe we get a second and something back. But yeah, he was willing to pay a third, I think. I just think we should try and get more for Mac Jones. He's probably just worth holding. He's good enough that he'll be in a position again where he'll be starting, and eventually we'll get a second. So please let me know. Daniel Jones, do we do a send to all for a first round pick? Mac Jones, do we do a send to all for a second round pick? What do we do with the Jay Roper players as well? Or any other business you have? Let me know in the comments for those people who watch after the fact. If you're not already, hit that like. My voice is going, my goodness. Hit that subscribe. We want to keep building the subscriber base. I know I got over 1,000, which is pretty sweet, but we want to keep it going. If you're watching live, share this around. And guys, please remember, very, very importantly, I pull myself up here, that right here on the Dynasty Hot Seat, because of you guys watching and helping out, greatness isn't born. It's built. See you next week. Probably on Wednesday again, actually. I quite like this Wednesday stream. I'll keep you posted. Bye, guys.